Hi Kirby fans, your zip brush stopped spinning. I'm going to show you the perfect way to service your zip brush and get it working like new. So what we'll do is jump straight to it. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. Again, those who are new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate. Select the subscribe button, it's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. Now don't forget, everything using my videos, there are links in the description below for the best place to get your Kirby products, so make sure you check those out. Right, so back in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fully service your Kirby zip brush. Now, like whether you've bought an old zip brush or you've got a new zip brush and you've had it quite a while, what tends to happen is they tend to get hair wrapped around them, loads of dust in there. I tend to vac mine off every time, so I have showed that in a video that obviously once you've been vacuuming with it, suck any hairs out you can with the hose. But other than that, there's not a lot really you can do. So what I'm going to do is we jump in, we're going to tear this down, and I'm going to show you how to get it fully serviced and working like new again. So what we'll do is dive straight into it. Right, so what we've got are two zip brushes. We've got the G series and we've got the Centria/AVALIR series. Now, these are second-hand ones. This one I've had for years. This came with my G7 that I had back in the day. This I haven't took apart. I've just cleaned it, obviously, with the hose every time I've used it. But as you can see, there's still a bit of debris in there. Now, these are exactly the same. Like I said, the only thing that's changed is the outer casing with them. And I'll prove that now. So what you've got is this internal turbine, and on the Centria or AVALIR, you've got the same internal turbine. Now, these turbines are exactly the same. So they fit, just to show you, they are exactly the same, and that will still work. So the turbines haven't changed since they came out with the Heritage. So we'll just put that back there. Obviously they're colour coded. Right, there's a lot of videos out there suggesting that you use Stanley knives. Now, my advice is if you're going to use a Stanley knife, one, you might damage this, two, you might slip. I'm quite accident prone, and I tend to slice my hands open quite easily. You know, I've got a cooking channel as well, and I cut the end of my finger off a couple of months back, so that's one reason I don't want to be using Stanley knives. Now these, people wondered if they came apart, and yes, they do. It's not something you're going to do every week because it will wear over time, but they do come apart. Now, there's two tools you can either use. You can either use a big screwdriver, and I'll show you to take it off with this, but what I tend to use is a pair of these. Purely because if you use a screwdriver, obviously you've got to get in there, like so, so you push that down, and you're going to get in there, and you're just going to twist it a bit, work your way around, put it in that side, twist it a bit, work your way around, and then off that piece comes. Now the only issue with that is what you tend to do is just tend to mark this. So it's entirely up to you just how careful you are when you're prising it. I mean, instead of twisting it, you can prise it up and work your way around. If you try and prise it from one side, what you're going to risk is snapping that end off. Now, we don't want to be snapping this. It isn't a brittle plastic, but it is a squishy plastic. So at the moment, we're getting away with it. And it's like I said, it's not something you want to do every single week. You could probably do this yearly or every couple of years, or if you've got a load of hairs around there. So once you've took that out, what happens is this comes off, and you can see now we've got all debris in here, and we've got a spring. Okay, so don't lose the spring. You've got an internal bit there, and this spline is actually flat on one side. And if you look at that there, what we've got is a flat side. Now Kirby put it flat on the outside as well, so you know that that will slide back on there like so. Now it is marked here, so it will only go down a certain depth as well, which is going to allow for this to move up or down. So as you take this out, you can see, obviously I've never took it apart, and it's got a little bit of corrosion in there. So what I tend to do as well, and I'll show you this when we put it back together, is just spray all this with a little bit of silicone spray as well, just to stop any corrosion. Obviously use spring and then give it a wipe just to protect it all, and just keep everything moving consistently. So now we've got the first one apart. Before we jump to the time lapse of cleaning, what I'll do is I'll jump back in and show you the other way of taking it apart. So what we'll do is jump back into it. So you've got that, you're going to press that down, and what we're going to do is just grip it with some long nose pliers, give it a twist, and that comes off like so. Okay, that way you're not going to damage any of this. So all it is you've got to keep, you don't lift it up completely, because what you can do is end up leaving it on one side and snapping it. You've got to pull it off straight. So whether you lever it with a screwdriver, like I said in the first part, you can do that, but you've got to work your way around, or with a pair of pliers, again, thin nose pliers, grip it, wiggle it, grip it, wiggle it, so on and so on. Now to take this apart again, it all comes apart, and what you'll see, again, this one's pretty filthy. This is one I picked up with a Centuria too. So again, it's all going to need cleaning. And then what you've got as well is a little washer right in the bottom as well, like so. Right, so now we've got these fully stripped. What we'll do for the cleaning process is jump into a bit of a time lapse, get them cleaned, and then I'll show you how to put them back together. Right, so now we've got both of them cleaned, we're going to get them back together. It's a simple process, so I'm going to show you the first one and then I'll show you the second one. So make sure everything is dry first before you even attempt doing this, because you're going to want to have moved all the debris, but what you don't want is obviously using this when it's still wet inside, because it's going to promote all the dust to stick and attract. Now, it's not worth using any grease or any oil because it's going to stick to grease or oil. So what you've got first is the bottom part here, and what I tend to use is silicone spray because it will dry and it will still leave a nice silicone coating. So first up, you've got this little washer here, and what this does, because this is spinning, is it locks in place, and that is turning on the plastic there basically. So you're going to put that in there and just drop that over there like so. What I'm going to do is just give it a touch of silicone spray. That's plenty, okay, because then that is going to go over there like so. Okay, what you can do as well if you want is put a little bit of silicone spray around there, just tip it, and then what I tend to do is just wipe the excess off. Okay, it will evaporate, but at least you're lubricating that, because when that spins, it's spinning on there, and this plastic part here is spinning on there. Okay, so that slots in there. So make sure it's totally dry. Next up, we've got the centerpiece. Okay, and that is going to slot in there like so. So flat side facing out, and that's going to slot in there. Okay, I've got this little bit here. This has come out of the top of here. That just slots in there. Okay, so if that does come out, I probably can't get it out now, but it just fell out. So if it does come out, it's got two little lugs on the side and it just slots in there, like so. So next process is your spring. So what I do is I put my spring on the outside, because if you don't, you put your spring in there, it probably won't line up and it's going to sit off center. It could sit like that. Okay, so slot that over there. Make sure you've got your flat side facing you, flat side on this bar facing you, and then we're going to tip it over and slot that on there like so, and that slots in there. Okay, next we've got our little cap that goes on the top. So again, we've got a flat side, so you've got a flat side here, and that's just going to slot on there, press, and it will clip into place, and then that is all connected. So you can see it's springing back down, otherwise it'd stay up. So there we go, and that is it. So just press that on, it's fully on, and that is where it should be. Let me put this back in here. So again, a little bit of silicone spray. Put that in there, slot, and that's the first one back together. Next up, we'll grab our second one. So first up, we're going to want the base and some silicone spray. So again, you've got this little washer here. That's going to slot on there, the little lugs facing down. I'm going to put a little bit of spray in there, and then a little bit just around there, and then wipe any excess off, like so. Then you grab this piece, this slots over there, so that spins nice and easy. And we've got this piece here, that is going to slot on the slide there. So you've got a flat part, so get flat part facing you again. Slot that over there, and that slots in there. Then we grab our brush, and like I said, make sure that little piece is in there. That does come out like it did on the previous one. Okay, then you're going to put your spring, slot your spring over, so make sure you got your flat part facing you. I'm going to slot that over there, bit of wiggle, there you go. And then again, this piece here with the flat part, and push that on. And now that is all connected. Put that back in, slot that on, and we've got 2 zip brushes, totally refurbished. Now don't forget, everything used in my video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get your Kirby parts and accessories, so make sure you check those out. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial, and as you can see, it's a really simple fix to do. You haven't got to risk taking limbs off or slicing your hands open with Stanley knives. You can literally take it apart. So whether you use a screwdriver or whether you use a pair of pliers, as I did, there's those 2 ways. So long as you pull that center section off perfectly straight, it should be fine. Now, like I said, it's not something you're going to do every single week, because obviously it's going to wear the more you do it, but at least you can do it every 1 to 2 years, or if you've got hair wrapped around there that you cannot get off. And all you want is, when you've got your zip brush back together, that should return just like so. Okay, exactly the same. And that is it. So again, to those who are new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate showing support by slapping that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. So what we'll do is cut to any bloopers, and I'll catch you the next one. To get everything used in my video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get your Weber parts and accessories.